Hello and welcome to a Blu-ray update. I posted one a few days ago called an out-of-date Blu-ray update because I think I filmed that back in January and just it's now the time to post it. Everything, so much is going on and it got lost in the shuffle, so I posted that. And you know, like most Blu-ray updates, they got a lot more views than my regular, reviews. So try and do another one for you. And this is again kind of an out-of-date Blu-ray update. This is a small stack of films that I picked up just after Christmas, actually. I just didn't get around to making a video to show them off. In fact, I'm not sure. I think I already showed this one in a different update, which is Baby Driver. It was in the same stack. Regardless, I picked up Baby Driver, and it's a really nice little Blu-ray with a nice little slipcover, and I think I already talked about it. So, I did a 5 for 30 in HMV just after Christmas, and that's what this update is, basically. And also a nice release, a digipack that you probably saw in the thumbnail and the title of the video. But first of all, 5 for 30 deal. I picked up To Catch a Thief. Alfred Hitchcock film. Haven't seen it. Really looking forward to this one because it stars Cary Grant, who I love. I've become a big fan of him through not even that many films, maybe 3 or 4 movies. His Girl Friday, Arsenic and Old Lace, Only Angels Have Wings, and Bringing Up Baby, which I loved. So I haven't seen a lot of Cary Grant, but from what I have seen, in fact I saw one of his first films. What was it called? I reviewed it for the Epic Film Challenge too. It has already left my mind, but it was this film from the 30s, one of his first roles. Anyway, wasn't that great. To Catch a Thief, Alfred Hitchcock also has Grace Kelly, who is just stunning. You know, you look at Rear Window and it's just like, this is one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen in my life. I don't know too much about this. I think he plays a cat burglar, something like that. One I definitely want to just stick on and just dive right into without really looking into plot too much. There's a whole boatload of special features on this one, a commentary by a Hitchcock film historian, and a whole bunch for the documentaries, writing and casting, the making of the movie, an appreciation of the movie, something about the Paramount years. So very nice. Let me know your thoughts on this one if you've seen it, where it ranks among the Hitchcock films that you've seen, because big Hitchcock fan, and there's still quite a few gaps I'm enjoying, not rushing to right away, because I like to savor these first time watches. This one is a film I have a unique relationship with, and it is Lost in Translation. Bill Murray, Scarlett Johansson. Love Bill Murray, one of my favorite people in the world. Scarlett Johansson, just a really good actress, and this is one of her, well, no, she did films before. She did Home Alone, not Home Alone, yeah, it's Home Alone 3 I think she was in. She did one of the Home Alone movies, the kind of non-sequels that the real fans don't like to talk about. Oh, was it? I'm not sure, I think she was. Anyway, but this was like, one of her more breakout kind of big roles, I guess. I remember when Bill Murray was up for the Oscar that year, and I watched the Oscars. Anyway, love this film so much. About a guy who is on a trip in Japan, and he's going through a midlife crisis, and he meets a young girl who is, has a partner, but is also going through stuff, and they kind of hang out together in Japan. And that's kind of it. But it's a beautiful film that I haven't seen in over 10 years now. The last time I watched this film, I had literally just broken up with my first girlfriend, and it was just like, oh, I remember coming back, and it was the scene where they're going through a bit of a tiff, and I think they sit down in a restaurant, they've just got nothing to say to each other, and she leaves or he leaves or something, and I just like, oh, my chest just like opened up, like I was just such a wreck, basically. So I've been hesitant to return to this film in such a long time, and this one has deleted scenes, behind the scenes, extended scenes, a music video, and a conversation with Bill Murray and Sofia Coppola, who of course directed the film. So at some point I'll get back to this, and need to add it to my collection for sure. This was an absolute steal. I still can't quite believe I got this in the 5 for 30 deal, which means it would have been £6. Ghostbusters 1 and 2, with a nice slipcover, digital download code, and I think it feels like there's actually a booklet in there as well. This came out of 3 or 4 years ago, I think. Yeah, personal note from Ivan Reitman, the director of both films. I'm pretty sure he did the second one. And then also there's the story of Ghostbusters. Nice little, nice little release. I already have Ghostbusters, the first film, on Steelbook somewhere, but this has the 2014 remasters. Let's have a look on the back. Yeah, 2014. They remastered in 4K, not that it's a 4K Blu-ray, Ghostbusters 1 and 2. So I now have both, you know, films in the collection, but also it has new special features. I'm not sure exactly what. I think it's the retrospective roundtable discussion with director Ivan Reitman and Dan Aykroyd. And then we have the same for Ghostbusters 2, some deleted scenes and all that kind of stuff. So, love Ghostbusters so much. I loved the second one too. When I was a kid, I loved that film. So it's I've never been in the second one's nowhere near as good. No, I love both of them. Of course, the first one's the better one. But there was a nice American digipack of this that I've always wanted to get and just never got around to hitting add to basket, you know, for some reason. I was slightly concerned with damage, sending it overseas, whatever, but nice little slipcover. It looks exactly like the digibook anyway, so yeah, really happy with that. And just £6 for both of those with a nice slip. Right, again, this is that kind of that Blu-ray insanity. Ooh, it has a nice slipcover. We'll get to that in just a second. Oh, I'm kind of burying the lead here. Let's move some stuff around. Right, this one is based off my love of Twin Peaks. Last year I got way big into Twin Peaks. Could you tell? If you watched the 24-hour movie marathon last year, could you tell that I got into Twin Peaks? And it was just one of the great kind of revelations of my media devouring life was to get into Twin Peaks. I still have all my videos I filmed while watching the original series and the movie and everything, or loads of reviews I've done that just I haven't got around to editing and stuff, and the series didn't go down too well when I started posting it. Anyway, so David Lynch. I've really wanted to just go back and do a deep dive on some of his movies. Lost Highway. This one stars Bill Pullman, who is one of my favourite guys from the 90s, and the 80s I suppose, with Spaceballs, but like While You Were Sleeping, I love that movie so much, which I'm happy to bring on the flack for that. I love While You Were Sleeping, but also Casper, and of course Independence Day. We will not go quietly into the night. And the idea of him working with David Lynch is interesting. Patricia Arquette is a fantastic actress, and I heard Bill Pullman on the Leonard Maltin podcast. Really good conversation. He talked about working with David Lynch, and the stories he was telling about working on this film really drew me to this film. So I found it, picked it up, and was glad that it was in the offer. There is 6 short films as special features. That's really cool. I'm assuming they're from David Lynch. So, anyone seen this? Got any thoughts on it? Without spoiling anything, obviously, then let me know. And then the final title I picked up was one I want to give a second chance. It is Man of Steel. I watched this not long after it came out, and wasn't the biggest fan of it. You know, it's the whole, you know, you're saying I should have let a whole I'll leave that one in for free. You're saying I should leave a whole bus full of kids to die? And, you know, Kent was like, well, maybe. And I'm like, what? Like, that's not what Superman is. You know, I don't know. It just didn't feel right to me. Not that I'm some Superman purist or even a big fan of the character, but I do really like Superman. And there were just things in this film that just didn't feel right to me, you know. And again, I'm not going to get into it and be like, oh, he shouldn't have killed Zod and all that. But visually stunning at times. But yeah, it's been 5-ish years since I've seen it, so I want to go back to it. I love Henry Cavill as Superman. I don't love the movies he's been in as Superman, because I just feel like he could serve it so much better. But that, again, that was me 5 years ago. I could have a completely different outlook on it now that I've seen Batman v Superman and Justice League. Justice League, I'm getting PTSD about Justice League. So Man of Steel, and again, like I said, that Blu-ray insanity. It's got a nice slipcover, so I thought, you know, it's got a nice kind of effect on it, and I thought, well, I recently picked up Suicide Squad, so let's dive back into the DC Extended Universe pool, which seems to be in danger of becoming very shallow. I mean, I don't know what's going on with it now. I think Justice League 2's been cancelled. I don't know. This one has a bunch of special features. I'm sure it's probably more like kind of that kind of EPK kind of stuff, like, oh, it was so great working with everyone and realizing Superman. There you go, Man of Steel. And finally, the one you may have clicked on the video for. I wanted to get this. I was trying to find if it was in the 5 for 30. It was, but there was also this on its own, and it is Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice. Again, only seen it once, and I really liked it. I thought it was a very good film. You know, didn't like Lex Luthor that much. you know, found a few things a bit, you know, the whole Martha thing I thought was awful, but you know, there was some stunning moments in it. I thought, like, the very end of this film really roused me up, like, oof, you know. So yeah, I'm not one of those like it's a masterpiece and you just misunderstand it, and neither am I. It's awful. It's funny because my brother Tommy hates this film. I think he's 12. You know? He's like, oh, it's the worst Batman ever. Like, Batman doesn't kill people. They just got it so wrong. And my dad hates this film as well, and my dad's a big Batman fan. And I said to my dad the other day, I was like, "You really got under his you know, under his skin with that. Like, that's your opinion imprinting onto him, isn't it?" And he just laughed like, "Yeah." But anyway, I really like this film, and I have never seen the extended cut. I think this is what they call it, the Ultimate Edition cut. So this is a nice little digibook. Really like it. Simple design. Love that logo as well. So yeah. It's quite a thick a book inside as well. It's got some concept art and so on. And I really like Ben Affleck's Batman. Not so much in Justice League, but in this, I like the scene in the warehouse. Like, that's fucking awesome, you know. So this is a nice little addition, and wasn't too expensive either, so I wasn't pushing the boat out. I definitely want to get Wonder Woman at some point, but yeah, nice little digipack, and I will definitely revisit it and watch the Ultimate Cut, which people tell me, oh, it makes things so much better. I wasn't really clamoring for it to be, you know, fixed or anything, but I'm intrigued to see, you know, what this Ultimate Cut adds to the film, or detracts, I don't know. I doubt I'd be able to remember things that weren't in it, because it's been so long since I've seen it now. Maybe, it won't be quite 2000, I guess it's only about 2 years. So anyway, that's it. So thanks for watching. Leave your comments down below if you have any, and I'll see you in the next video.
He's alright by me. Apart from the fact he throws cans of Carlin into a tree. Yeah, he's really cool. Yeah, he's really cool. But he's not quite as cool as you.